ज्ञान हमको कीजिए शीघ्र सारे दूर हमसे कीजिए, दूर हमसे हरि नारायण नारायण दया करो रे जगवंदना, दया करो हे जगवंदना, कृपा करो हरि नारायण, कृपा करो हरि नारायण। भावातीता भाग्य विधाता, भावातीता भाग्य विधाता, दीनानाथा अनाथ के नाथा, दीनानाथा अनाथ के नाथा, कृपा करो हरि नारायण, कृपा करो हरि नारायण। मायातीता ज्ञान प्रदाता, मायातीता ज्ञान प्रदाता, दीनानाथा अनाथ के नाथा, दीनानाथा अनाथ के नाथा, हरि नारायण, हरि नारायण, हरि नारायण, लक्ष्मी नारायण, शिव नारायण, सत्य नारायण, हरि नारायण, लक्ष्मी नारायण, शिव नारायण, हरि नारायण। I think excepting Raju Irudi was there last week, right? Raju, ये
Who
पढ़ा
wasn't
क्या?
there?
Who wasn't there? Archana.
I
So
wasn't
if
there.
yeah, if you have, I mean, so I think you might have heard this thing. What you missed, ना? या नहीं पढ़ा, नहीं सुना? Didn't get time.
Sir, I didn't actually.
नहीं किया ना, ठीक है. Anyway, 1 minute, 1 moment. वाकड़ा हो गया जरा कैमरा. Like एक give me 1 moment. क्या गौरव पे क्या एकदम छुट गया मेरे हाथ से, so this thing stand has gone down. 1 minute. ए गौरव, अरे स्टँड नीट करून दे जरा, पडला जरा. ओके, दिख रहा है ना प्रॉपरली?
हाँ सर दिख रहा है.
हाँ ठीक आहे, असं ते झालं करू. Okay, it's fine. So last time we discussed basically the you know what, the love, the qualities of love, and what else was there, Ravi?
So we were doing the last part of this chapter, and it said that
Huh?
we must have the courage of Prahlada, the conviction of a Dhruva, the heroism
Huh?
of a Sudama, the depth of a
Huh?
Sabari, and the
Hmm.
perseverance of the Gopis, and the ardor of Radha and the faith of Kunti. Like these were all
Right.
great bhaktas. So
Huh.
if we can have these qualities in us, then God will never be, or we will never be apart from the Lord.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Now
one
after.
important
हाँ बोलो ना anyone. बोल.
one important line in Bhagavad Gita, which the Lord confesses that those who pray to me, in them I live, and in
Hmm.
me they live.
Hmm.
So that's
Explain
what.
करो ना.
So just before that, there was a paragraph which said that when we realize our hapless state, that means that there's a
Hmm.
difficulty, and if we want something, then we run to the Lord, and when we get it, or we're out of the danger or difficulty, we get a
Hmm.
spring of devotion.
हाँ.
So that is also devotion, but it's just a temporary phase where we are in gratitude because we got what we wanted.
हाँ.
But slowly and steadily, when we continuously be in this world of sense objects, in the heat of the passions,
हाँ.
and continuously going back to the Lord, demanding, achieving, receiving, feeling grateful, we get exhausted, and then
Hmm.
we realize that in this desert of a bosom where we only have sense pleasures and desires,
Hmm.
there bhakti cannot grow, thrive, or come forward. And
Hmm.
that's why Narada is talking about a permanent way of getting closer to the Lord, which is prayer. He says prayer is a springboard to continue in increasing your devotion, which doesn't mean when you need something or want something, but irrespective of your needs and wants, you continuously have this prayer in continuation, whether you
Hmm.
need something or you don't need something, whether you're in difficult positions or you're in your comfort positions. If you continuously pray, that is a springboard to increase your devotion. And that's
Right.
a confession that Lord makes in Bhagavad Gita, where he says, those who pray to me, in them I live, and in me they live.
Perfect. Very good. You have given the entire gist. Now coming to the next this thing, what you said that now see once that this is established that unless and until we have devotion, we cannot proceed further. Now the chapter 3 says how to develop this love. Okay. Till now we have just learned that we have got first chapter been it has been imbibed on us that we have to have devotion, and with devotion alone you can reach the highest. Right. See, basically, the difference between again and again reiterating that what is the difference between yoga, sankhya, jnana, and bhakti? That in yoga, sankhya, and jnana marga, more importance is laid to aham, I, and in bhakti, the I is not there. Only he remains. That I is minimum, or when एकदम but absolutely minimum. And therefore bhakti is easier. Why? Because the bhakti teaches us to see Lord everywhere. The guests who come to our house, the people who are come. See, there is. It's not a fluke that people come and meet you. There is a reason behind everything. We don't know it. And so when we have the attitude that whomsoever comes to me is the Lord coming in his that form, automatically what happens? That individual remains aside, aloof, but our devotion in our heart bosom increases. The Lord is coming in so many various forms. Like I told you, Namdev saw the ghost and said, "Kyun bane ho lambak." He saw the Lord in that ghost also. So the easiest way is to keep our bosom pure, heart pure, to see Lord everywhere. And the second important factor which comes in this connection only is, as we just now, I just thought came in my mind when you were chanting that, "Hey Prabhu, निंदा किसी की हम किसी के भूल कर भी ना करें." Why is that? See, our mind is always extrovert and always trying to think something bad about. I mean, trying to correct some negative point about the other person. And you know what? mind is made in such a way that if that person is bad, then I automatically become good. It is not that way. Therefore, to criticize other person, to keep names, is why it is bad. That those bad qualities first enter your heart. You think over it, and then you say. So unnecessarily, you are collecting garbage for yourself. My boss is bad. He does this like that only, or my wife is that, my cousin is that. क्या करने का लेके what see, you should be a like a Marwadi. Marwadi is focused only on this, the wealth which is going to get. Baki of that is everything is secondary. Similarly, when we are moving in the world, my intention or motive should be what am I getting from that. If I'm going to get all negativities, then why take that? Just throw it away. Therefore, introspection, negation, substitution, and sublimation is most important. The thoughts will come. It's not that someone asks Swamiji, what should I do? There are so many thoughts come in my mind. I cannot, when I close my eyes, only thoughts come. He says, like, when you open your eyes, also thoughts come. Yes, it says also, of course. So, he says that when you close your eyes, thoughts come. When you open your eyes, thoughts come. It's like when you're going on the road and you're saying traffic is there. If you are moving on the road, traffic will be there. Similarly, if the mind is there, the thoughts will come. But when you turn those thoughts towards the divinity or God or Godwards, then that same thoughts which were till now troubling you will give you happiness, peace, isn't it? So now this coming chapter is what, that how should we develop this love? There are n number of ways to develop love. So Narada is enumerating some of them. We'll see that it's a very just 34 37 very nice. I love this the 3 4 verses. Read Raju hai kya book? Raju read How to Develop Love Divine. Raju, you have got a book?
Yes, yes, I have got a book, sir.
So read.
Page 81.
How to Develop Love Divine, Sutra
Hmm.
34 to 37.
Hmm.
From this sutra onwards, we can almost consider that we are in the second part of the
No, no, one sec, one
Page
page earlier.
81. 81.
81. Thus do masters of love divine. Uh, uh,
How to Develop Love Divine 34 to 37. Thus do sing Masters of Love Divine, the means to attain a heart of love, giving up sense objects, and even the desire for them, hearing and glorifying Him even in all things of the world.
hmm. Now come to from this total.
From this sutra onwards, we can always consider that we are in the second part of the entire thesis of devotion given out in Narada's philosophy of love. From here onwards, the entire volume is striving to declare the methods of cultivating, guarding, and securing the spirit of devotion in the individual bosom of the seekers. In the following 9 sutras, 34 to 42, we have a very scientific and very exhaustive discussion upon the practice of love, describing the various ways by which a seeker can develop the spirit of devotion discovered by him in his own bosom. Sutra 34. Tasya sadhanani gayantya chacharya.
Charya.
Of that, of that supreme love for God, means or methods of practice, sing teachers. Ancient teachers sing differently upon the means of developing this devotion in the human bosom. Different means are prescribed by different teachers to discover and to cultivate the spirit of devotion for the love in a seeker's heart. Whatever be the means adopted, the mind of the seeker must be persuaded away from its natural fascinations for the sense objects, and it must be guided to live a life of nobler values, of ethical and moral principles. This is unavoidable.
Moral principle. Moral principles, not more.
Moral principles.
Uh. This is unavoidable. See,
This is
uh,
unavoidable.
unavoidable. Now he gives the first sutra. 34 to 42, Gurudev says there are 9 sutras which are very scientific and exhaustive discussion upon the practice of love. How to love? The first method he says is Gayanti, sing. By Lord's grace and everyone, I mean, the Gurudev's grace, all of us can sing. At least we are in that. that music can be a part of ourselves, maybe for us only, but it's not that we are Aurangzebs. Okay, and singing is a very easy method to attune yourself with the Lord. है ना? Like I told you last time also, see, like say by coincidence, sang the same version when someone went to Satya Sai Baba and he told him, how to develop devotion. He says, sing. So that person was a foreigner. He said, what happens by singing? He says, now I'll tell you something and just pay attention. And then he said, now I'm telling you something. I'm asking the Lord, Krupa Karo Hari Narayana. Huh? You heard this? He said, okay. And the same thing is saying, I have heard that lecture so far, it is there in the heart. So now, saying that, Krupa Karo Hari Narayana. है ना? Within a fraction of a second, that mind which was extrovert immediately turns inward. क्या किया? Just you gave it a touch of music. That's singing. So singing has so much power. So whenever you're walking, doing your cooking, anywhere, when your mind tries to agitate, tries to revolt, just take some bhajan and start singing. Take a stotra, start chanting. You'll see the miracles that how the mind becomes quiet in no time. But that singing, as today I heard somebody say, it should be from within, from total. It should be 100%. खाली गाने का करके नहीं, with full emotions and full intention. Like what when you are calling out your mother or somebody, you have that conviction that mother is going to respond, or my brothers, or my sisters, or my wife, or my husband is going to respond when you call out. But is there the same intensity and same conviction when you call upon the Lord? That intention if you set when that therefore last time we discussed no, then तीन बार कबीर ने बोला तीन बार राम के I told him to chant Ram Nam 3 times and that person got cured. Kabir's disciple was there, I think. That story was there. And then Kabir said, it's okay that you so told, but why did you have to ask him for 3 times? एक बार राम को बोला तो आते नहीं क्या वो? एक बार बोला ना काफी था. तीन बार क्यों बोला नहीं का? That means you are showing somewhere not having not having you don't believe them, no confidence in him. इतना intensity and that much if our intensity and our focus is there and that love is there, he will come. When he says I'll take care of you, he will take care of us. थोड़ा थोड़ा कृपा पड़े अल्प दारिश he tests us, but it's not that he is going to win. आज कल किया भी कुछ, what he knows better, no? We have taken birth in this particular body and our life is limited span कितना है इतना ही. He is the creator and the lord of the entire cosmos, and how many births and how many deaths and what not we are gone. The wife of today might be a auntie of my last birth, who knows? मालूम नहीं ना कौन है. And we have just come together and then we are starting dictating terms that my husband and my wife should behave this way and that way. It doesn't happen. कुछ होता नहीं है रे क्या ऐसे करके. And then when he knows better that what is there, then why should he insist on something? When you start insisting, no, then the things become yours. And when you surrender yourself self at his feet, all the things becomes his. Then responsibility is his. अपने का कुछ करने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. I am not take it in the positive way. I am not trying to tell you to be passive. It's not. You have to do your work. You have been born. You have to do your nitya naimiti karma, your duties, your responsibility. That you have to do. But do it as a duty and forget it. Don't be involved, excessively involved. Excessive involvement in anybody, anything gives you sorrow. Right from your son to your wife or to your anybody. My son, my son, my son. और कभी becomes her son, her husband मालूम ही नहीं गिरता है. 24 years you have taken care and suddenly one girl comes and takes them away. And then the parents start what repenting. क्या क्या इतना 24 साल मैंने देखा, हमने इतना ही अभी देख रहा भी नहीं है. It's a part of life. Accept the changes and go on. We remain this rooted, and we want the things to be as they were about 10 years back. How can they be? Now you are gone. Everyone is around 40 now. If I have the same attitude, मेरे बच्चे बाल विहार के second, third, fourth के, how can it be that same attitude be work here? That attitude should be that now the children grow and they are going to become middle aged. That thing automatically happens now. So coming to our point, when you start singing, what happens with the song? Your devotions are automatically being projected towards the Lord. And singing is the most important and very easy method to reach the Lord. Easiest method. कुछ करने की जरूरत है. I will say I don't know singing. जो आता है वो गाओ ना. जैसे आता है वैसे गाओ. But when you sing, your emotions are you know और उसको क्या है? What the word? Emotions are created भी नहीं. I forgot the word. Okay. Developed भी नहीं. Brought out. Brought out.
Directed towards the Lord.
Brought out. The emotions come out. Right. And therefore the Lord says, whatever emotions you have, anger, what is that? Jealousy, hatred, love, attachment, you throw all at me, and I will see to it that they are turned into positive. गुस्सा करने को तो भगवान पे करना, आदमी के ऊपर पे क्या फायदा, क्या कुछ होने वाला तो नहीं है. And therefore, when you surrender yourself to the Lord, then when he takes care of you, why worry then? अभी तक क्या हो रहा है कि we start worrying. Worry is a very difficult phase and difficult disease to cure. You always start worrying, and you tell me we are worrying right for so many years. What we already thought, what we project कितना बार हुआ है? 95 or 98% of the times, those things which I worried never happen only. Earthquake आएगा तो क्या होगा? Earthquake आएगा, किधर आया earthquake? 2020 क्या? Which year was that? 2020 में the world will going to क्या? Disappear.
Y2K.
2012.
पहला हुई समय यार, क्या किसको याद है? किधर हुआ? कुछ हुआ है क्या? People were mad. There are mental cases in US, psychic people. And when we go to see that materialistic prosperity will never give with anything. In US, if you see, everyone has got his own bungalow. Everyone has got his own car. Money they have, but mental peace. 80% of the children there have only are single parent. 57% of those marriages are for second, third, fourth marriages. Hardly 13% of the people are single married. What to tell? What sanskars can they give to the children? And then why is this happening? I see, we are only analyzing. We are not criticizing. We have to analyze, meaning that even if you have got all the materialistic prosperity, the happiness which is there, they are not able to gain it. They are going on seeking happiness in the materialistic object, in the sense objects, in sense pleasure, which doesn't remain permanent. How much time can you go on chewing the chewing gum? To a certain time, उसके बाद you have to spit it out ना. Similarly, the sense object. How much time you are going to go on chewing those sense objects, sense pleasures? कभी कभी बोर हो जाते हैं नहीं क्या? बहुत हो गया अभी. Then once you get last chapter continued that once you get bored with all those sense pleasures and sense objects, then you start turning inwards. And now here we are in the study group. What we are learning, after doing something, when if you are going to get some lesson, why to wait up till that after? I mean, for all that time, we start from today itself. Therefore, you try it out. कभी if your mind gets agitated or you feel depressed, dejected, you know what? Start singing some bhajan. Automatically, that music has so much power that it can restore you to the normalcy. Right? Anything you have to add? We'll take the second paragraph. Hmm. बोलो read. We
For
have
a culture,
already.
every house used to sing.
Pardon?
So
बोलो
this
राजू.
singing was a part of culture. Some years back, this singing was a part of a culture. मतलब every house, they used to have a time in the evening, say 7 o'clock, yeah, 8 o'clock.
Yes.
They used to sing. Every
अरे,
sing sit together and sing
in
praises.
in our house we had every day at what 6:37 we used to everyone used to sit for prayer. स्तोत्र बोलने का गुरु स्तोत्र अखंड मनाने का ओम पार्था या 15 chapters गीता everything. And we had as for me I thought it was a part and parcel of our life. But then slowly, because the people have become, the Western cultures have had so much impact on us that we have forgotten all this. उससे क्या होता है, उससे क्या होता है? See the Muslim people, right from the age of 2, 3, they are the children are taught to to sit for prayer for 5 times. नमाज पढ़ने पड़ता 5 बार. They have to go to the madrasa, what do they call? They have been taught the culture that Maulavi comes to the house and teaches them. They are paid, but we don't know that we are neither what totally become materialistic nor always totally religious. बीच में लटक के एंड जो बीच वाला रहता है उसको बहुत तकलीफ होता है. अभी कांट टेक ये भी डिसीजन नहीं ले सकते, वो भी डिसीजन ले सकते. एंड देखो बाकी का छोड़ो, अपने घर का देखेंगे. अब कितने दुनिया को तो सुधार नहीं सकते ना. सुधार सकते क्या? ऍटलीस्ट म्हणते मला ना गंधमाग म्हणायचे आता विश्वात मके देव म्हणजे काय विश्वात मके देव येणे वागून तोषावे
Usually visit
जे
Yahweh, Sahayadawa.
खायचे नाही म्हणजे ही वॉज प्रेइंग दॅट एव्हरी वन इन दिस वर्ल्ड शुड बी हॅपी. है ना? ज्ञानेश्वर हाऊ कॅन एव्हरी वन बी हॅपी? इझिएस्ट वे आपल्याला का सगळ्या जगाशी पोचता येतं का? नाही. आपलं विश्व कुठलं आहे की आपल्या भोवती जे असतं ते आपलं विश्व है ना. with the people who are us in our surrounding, that is my world. So when I become happy, I try to give happiness, smile, love to others. That particular world in which I survive, I live, that will become a better place to live. No, म्हणून ते गुरुदेव यद्यदा चरिते श्रेष्ठ. Those people who are the leaders have to have themselves a good discipline and a good moral and ethical character, because those people have been followed. The other people will follow them. ऑटोमॅटिक तुला काय करायचं गरज नाही. तुझ्याकडे बघून आजच्या आनंदात हसतो त्याचं काय ऑटोमॅटिकली आपण घेणार त्याचे चांगले गुण. काय यू डोंट हॅव टू डू एनिथिंग स्पेशल. यू हॅव टू नॉट टू गो अँड कंडक्ट स्टडी ग्रुप इन ऑफिस. नो नीड. है ना. like my father was absolutely in CID, in CID government office and police office. Corruption is up to the core everywhere. But he for himself decided that I'll not take any money. Okay, looking at his this thing, the people under him, that for 13, 14, 15 people, they also said that we'll never in, because Kanbur साहेब नाही घेत आम्ही कसं घेणार, ते बरोबर नाही. They also they refuse to take any money. So, it is a contagious disease. I met somebody yesterday, the day before yesterday. He says आम्हाला Kanbur साहेब सांगितलं आम्ही एक पैसा घेतला नाही आयुष्यात. आम्ही रिटायर झालं पण एक पैसा बाहेरचा घेतला नाही. See how it helps. If we are good, automatically that goodness will spread around. It's like fragrance of a flower. You decide you have to spread the fragrance of a rose or whatever it is, or a foul smell. Okay, continue. Read, Raju.
We have already been told in the previous sutras that mere knowledge of devotion cannot discover love in our hearts. In this section, we have a discussion upon the various techniques and methods by which we can surely invoke the powers of devotion in us. The sutras indicate how best we can cultivate it so that it may grow into all-consuming emotional identification with the Supreme.
Plus, see, I'll give you your example now. Hmm. We have so many Hindi pictures, right, from 1950 to 2022. When there is a love between the boy and the girl, why is there necessarily a song there? Earlier they are melodious, now they are a disco, whatever it is. but songs are there, no. Even in the materialistic life, to convey your emotions to the your beloved, you need to sing. What they were singing, है ना? And now we are going to go to Supreme. Therefore, he says the person in whose music and singing and becomes an inadvertent part of his life, then it is very easy for you to rise, है ना? प्यार होता नहीं, प्यार किया नहीं जाता, हो जाता है ऑटोमेटिकली, स्टार्ट लिविंग, कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना. हाँ. किसी ने पूछा एक स्वामी महात्मा को, बोले हाउ, इट्स अ कॉमन क्वेश्चन फॉर अस. आई एम डूइंग माय साधना रेगुलरली. आई एम chanting Hanuman Chalisa 108 times. I am chanting Ram Raksha 11 times. I am doing my japa. And now, how will I know that I am realized? And I have attained moksha. I have become liberated. कैसा मालूम करेगा? Tell me that. कहा असं ना, you must have know that some symptoms ना. Like I have fever today. What is symptom? I am getting sweat. Smell नहीं आ रहा है. कहा कुछ हो रहा है. कहा then I got fever. I'm not well. That is the thing. So what are the things? So he said, I'll tell you. I can't tell you this, but I'll tell you the example. So there's one girl. She's 9 months pregnant, and she goes and asks her grandmother that her mother. She said, when I'm going to deliver a baby, please wake me up and tell me that I'm going to, because if I make a baby asleep, I'll not be able to know that I'm going to get a baby. He said, the grandmother says, you need not be woken. When that time comes, you will be in such a this thing. What you will wake the entire house up with your screams. You don't need to tell. That's likewise. When that thing of realization comes in the mind, when realization comes, it need not be told. It will be so much that automatically you know just burst from within. कोई जरूरत नहीं है. आपने ना आर जिज्ञासु होते हैं, अष्टपाठ में अजिज्ञासु आहे. जिज्ञासू एक आहे, वाईट एक गुण आहे जिज्ञासू. काय होणार आहे पुढे काय आता जे करायचं सोडून पुढचाच विचार करतो. 80 वर्ष मी कसा दिसेन म्हणून ते काहीतरी ऍप आहे. हाऊ आय गोइंग टू लुक ॲट द एज ऑफ 80. काय करायचं देऊन तुम्ही 80 जगणार तरी आहे का? एखादी पाठवलं अशी सुरकुत्या टक्कल पडलं, अजून काय पडणार आहे मोबाईल? काय होणार आहे अजून? काय तरी आपलं समथिंग गंमत असते. वी आर व्हेरी इन्क्विजिटिव्ह. काय होणार. आपल्या मुलापर्यंत इंटरेस्ट नसतो. शेजारच्या मुलाला किती पर्सेंट मार्क्स मिळाले त्याला, की हाऊ मच डिड यू गेट, वाय यू वॉन्ट इंटरेस्ट इन दॅट. आपल्यापेक्षा दुसऱ्यावर जास्त इंटरेस्ट आहे ना. When you start focusing on yourself, when you start, coming to our point again. Okay, what happens? Then we have already told in the previous sutra that mere knowledge and devotion cannot discover love in our hearts. I know that the devotion should be there. I know everything should be there, but mere knowing will not. What is the way to bring it out? I'm still not getting that word. कभी तो भी आएगा. I'm not getting that word. I don't know why. Yeah? You cannot discover it. And how to discover it? That is by singing. है ना? Singing is the easiest way. And singing also, like where you are, be 100%. अर्धवट नको आहे की how people are going to get impressed by the singing. Wow, see how that like swaying, or how what is the reaction of the others. No need, no. When it is the relation between you and your beloved, why you bring the world in between? ज्यावेळेला आई मुलावर प्रेम करते, मग आई मुलाची काळजी घेते, आंघोळ घालते, चालायला शिकवते, बोलायला शिकवते. That time she didn't see that, अरे let is my neighbor going to look at, seeing someone is watching what, see how I am loving my child. No, it was the love that automatically comes. Similarly, when I am singing, I am offering my praise to the Lord. It is the relation between me and Him. Okay, ना. जितका इंटेन्सिटी प्रार्थना कराल ना, तितकी इझिली भगवंत प्रसन्न होतो. आता ते आमच्या महाराजांनी सांगितलं, म्हणजे महाराजांचे म्हणजे 33 कोटी आपल्याला जप करायचा असतो ना. इफ युअर जप इज 24 crores, इट इज सिद्ध. तर 33 कोटी जप आयुष्यात होणं खूप अवघड आहे. काय करतील दुर्मिळ लोक, पण इट इज व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट. बरं, म्हणजे 33 कोटी काय आहे? त्यामुळे आपल्या शरीरात हे जे हे असतात, मोठे छेद काय असतात, सेल्स, Inculcate. Viju, inculcate is the right. Inculcate is the right word. Thank you. The roam म्हणतो ना त्याला. Those are 33 crores cells in our body. And when we sing with intensity, full intensity, and say Shri Ram, automatically by chanting one time, you are chanting it 33 crores times. Each cell of, when you just think, each cell of your body has its own independent existence. If you are, many of you are science students, you must have seen under the microscope also. Our body is made up of different cells. All cells are living. इतना तो मालूम है. This is the basic concept. When all those with intensity, when you cry out for the Lord, when you sing, what happens? Your entire body, entire your this system is calling on the Lord. So within one chanting, you are chanting it so many times. म्हणून नका राम 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 काय गरज नाही ना सारखं तोंडाने म्हणायचं. परा पश्चिमची मध्यमा वैखरी वैखरीचं झालं ना तर काम किती म्हणजे मग जाता था राम 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 राम. एक तो डर से या मैकेनिकली उसका फायदा नहीं ना. एकदा श्री राम जय जय राम प्रेमाने एकदा म्हटलं तरी सफिशियंट आहे ना. आपल्याला सवय आपल्याला भीती जास्त आहे ना. मग आपल्या डिवोशन में ज्यादा डर है प्यार से इंटरेस्ट. इफ फियर इज देयर ना तो कुछ होना है. प्यार रहेगा तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना. काय खाल्लं तर चालतं, काय पिलं तर चालतं, कुठे गेलं चालतं, काय फरक पडत नाही. तर ते इतकं सोहं इतकं ना ते लुंगी अशीच पाहिजे आणि ते पदर तसंच पाहिजे आणि डोक्याला असंच पाहिजे आणि मग ते देवात जाता येईल. आणि मग देवाला काय करायचं तुम्हाला घेऊन. तुम्ही काय न घातलेलं तुम्ही त्याला जन्माला आला आणि नको ते कारण हे कशाला करायला पाहिजे. अच्छा, यू आर गोइंग टू टेम्पल, देर आर सम रिस्ट्रिक्शन, यू फॉलो देम, but only merely following those do's and don'ts will not give you devotion. Remember that. I'm trying to stress that. Not to criticize anybody. What they are, कौन जो कर रहा है उनको करने दो. Let him continue. But we should at least not fall in that trap. आता काय कपडे घातले, काय घातले, काय होणार आहे. काय कपडे घातले, भगवे कपडे घातले, काय होणार आहे. पांढरे कपडे घातले, काय नथिंग विल हॅपन. काय होणार अंडरस्टँड इनर ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन. क्या यू सी द सेन्स. निसर्गत महाराज, साई बाबा, कोणी बघा, जगजानंद महाराज तो कुछ नहीं डालने के, अक्कलकोट स्वामी और किसी के सी द सेंस ऑफ लुक एट द ड्रेस. काय होतं. रामकृष्ण परमहंस, विवेकानंद ऍटलीस्ट वॉज ऑलवेज ड्रेस प्रॉपरली, वॉट एव्हर फोटोज यू हॅव सीन. बट देन ठीक आहे ना. द ड्रेस डज नॉट मेक अ मॅन. युअर inner development or inner maturity will determine what you are. And so therefore to develop this inner devotion, discipline is essential. For discipline, the importance is necessary. So we are coming from the same chronology. We are coming that from knowledge we are we know come to know this importance. From the importance, now we are trying to see that devotion which was until now something outside, we are trying to develop it inside. How? So singing is one form. I'm not telling you that singing is the only form. Singing is one form in which you can attach yourself to the higher. Okay, otherwise बोलेंगे, कोई तो बोलेगा, the person who cannot sing, अरे सर ने क्या बोला, मुझको तो गाना नहीं आता है. I cannot sing, so I cannot be a good devotee. Is it? ऐसे कुछ नहीं. This year is given how many 9 forms. उसमें से एक है. So when we are discussing one, let us discuss in totality. So I'm trying to discuss. I mean, trying to reveal this importance. Okay, continue.
Narada first points out the various thoughts of different acharyas on the same topic. These are available, but were lying scattered amidst the expositions in the innumerable earlier works on Bhakti cult. These sayings, pregnant as they were, had been collected by Narada, and we strung them together here intelligently, adding to them his own fresh thoughts and definite conclusions.
Continue,
Devarshi
continue.
Narada significantly says, "We just sing. We sing our songs, ministering for the spiritual needs of the people." He indicates is ever a sheer joy for a true missionary. There is an attractive spontaneity in all our spiritual masters when they work. They thus for the spiritual comfort and redemption of the community. The spontaneous joy contained in the sacred service of spreading the spiritual knowledge among the people could not have been brought out more vividly than by the apt use of the words the teachers sing.
Hmm. You all speak now. You all discuss the entire chapter is over. What do you all think? Maybe there may be another approach also. I am not saying that my thing is perfect. There can be another approach also when you say sing. So this is a spontaneous reaction of all the masters, of all the devotees. When you start loving the Lord, automatically the singing becomes a part and parcel of your life. Gaura Maharaj used to go on say, chanting and singing on the roads. Tukaram Maharaj, Namdev Maharaj. Now this Warkari who are going, lakhs of them. And when that singing comes out of that joy and that satisfaction and inner, inner urge for that Lord, what happens? Automatically singing comes out. When you are happy or when you are very sad, don't you see don't you the music comes in your life? Tell me. Huh? When you are very happy, still you sing. When you are very sad, still you sing. Where the person which I will discuss singing first. What is singing? See, singing is a a rendering of some words in a particular way, in a particular rhythm. That's a better word. Oh, no. We are discussing the definition of singing now. Singing. But what is singing? We should know no first.
So actually,
Singing,
even in singing, we have learned no that there are different ragas for different emotions. So every
yes,
tune conveys a different like what is it? The
emotion.
emotion conveyed in a particular rag is different. It brings out like
In
खुशी में कोई अलग राग होगा
uh,
या खुशी का अलग है स्ट्रेस बस्टिंग कुछ और है so we have
mhm.
different I think you only had sent an article sir on the group
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mentioning so the same words put up with a but in a particular raga will convey the emotion more or will connect more with the beloved one when it is with music that is singing.
Yes, singing and then singing. Important point in singing is what Archana. What you're saying is right. First, you have to have the rhythm.
Hmm.
हो ना पहिलं ताल पाहिजे माहिती ना एक
Tal.
पहिलं ताल पाहिजे ना आयुष्यात जेव्हा ताल येतो ना तेव्हा बेताल वागायचा माणूस संपतो. If you have got tal in your life, the proper balance in that, when you're walking, when you're going around, see no, Om Ram Krishna Hari, Ram Krishna Hari, Ram Krishna Hari. They are going with तारकेच तास वाजून जात असताना किती रिदमिकली जातात ते किती छान जातात बघितलं ना तुम्ही आय सेंड यू व्हिडिओ ऑन द ग्रुप लेटर गजानन महाराजांचं एक आता मला माहिती चैतालीकडे बघितलं मी पण गजानन महाराजांची वारकेचं ते चाली दिंडी इतकं सुंदर जातात ना इतकं छान वाटतं सगळे पांढरे कपडे घालून त्या रामनाथ जपतात that rhythm when you comes in the life what happens automatically when you're walking when you're doing your work when you're speaking oh, no, when you speak just like that when I'm speaking just what I'm doing now it doesn't convey but when that rhythm comes when I'm speaking with some pause or with intonations that will convey a better message to the people to
So I
other the people.
experienced this in that Vari. This time I told you, no, sir, more than the Varkaris, we had a lot of other people accompanying, I think, till Saswad. Otherwise,
uh,
sir, I have seen till BT Kavade Road, it comes by 9:30. The Palki Tukaram
uh,
Maharajanchi
uh,
Palki, 9:30
uh,
पर्यंत येतं. यावेळेला near that AFMC college, local people did not let the Palki move only. They were singing and dancing. जो रखवाली करने आए थे पुलिस वाले सब लोग ज्वाइन कर गए. There was one group just before Tukaram Maharajanchi Palki, and what you're talking, sir, about bhajan, no? that bhajan was very simple, describing the life of Krishna in Marathi. गवळणीला पुत्र झाला. It was so simple, sir. But the way the ताल और इसके साथ जो गाया ना, सब लोग इतना अट्रैक्ट हुए. एक फुगड़ी भी इतने मजे से खेले ना सर, इतना मजे से तो मतलब नॉर्मली भी नहीं खेलेंगे. बहुत धीरे ही खेले थे, सब बूढ़े बुड्ढी थे. But the way they were playing was, I don't know what that magnetic force in that song was.
No, see,
All
they lose their body consciousness. That's the first
आर्म्ड
thing.
फोर्सेस हो, आर्मी एयरफोर्स वाले थे, जो बी मतलब रोड साइड पुलिस फोर्स, नॉर्मल पुलिस, खाकी वर्दी में सब लोग आ गए. सब लोग अपना अपना कहाँ से क्या लेके आए पता नहीं, सब नाचते, सब पसीना पसीना हो गए. बारिश, इट वाज क्लाउडी, बट दे डांस सो मच दैट दे वर ऑल perspiring there. And till 10 o'clock we were only at that petrol pump वाला चौक. I literally had to force myself. मैं बोली यहाँ से नहीं निकलूंगी, मैं तो इनके साथ ही चली जाऊँ, ऐसा वाला हालत था. Very simple song, sir. Very simple. गवळणीचा पुत्र झाला. It was on Krishna. Krishna's life was complete.
Then many people told me this time they went 32 kilometers to Saswad walking, and in their life they are not walking.
The Lokites were there. I think after 2 years it had come, so more than the Vargaris were there.
And they said that they
Did you remove it?
Pardon?
वीडियो निकाला क्या पूछ रही अर्चना को?
अर्चना भेजा ना वीडियो.
मैंने भेजा था, पंछी ग्रुप पे सब भेजा था कुछ वीडियोस, जो मेरे को ना बाद में विनोद ना बोले थे, तू छोड़ वीडियो निकालना, छोड़ तू बस ये कर. बट आई वांटेड टू शेयर दैट मोमेंट विद एवरीबॉडी सो मच. इतना अच्छा लग रहा था. आई थॉट कि यार देखना चाहिए सब लोगों ने, और नेक्स्ट ईयर वी शुड ट्राई एज मेनी एज पॉसिबल. एटलीस्ट थोड़ा दूर उनके साथ जाने को ना वी कैन ट्राई. सो आई वाज, वो मेरे मन में वही चल रहा था कि हम सब लोग होते तो कितना मजा आता, सब लोग होते तो. आई वेंट अलोन. रात को डिसाइड किया कि चलो जाएंगे अगले दिन सुबह, और मैं निकल गई. नोबडी वाज देयर विद मी, बट इट वाज सो ब्यूटीफुल. मैं वही कह रही हूँ ना, व्हाट यू वर सेइंग ना, दैट बस रिदम लय ताल, वो गाने का वर्ड्स हैड वेरी सिंपल मीनिंग. कुछ भी नहीं, इसके उसको बेटा हुआ, उसने ऐसा नटखट काम किया.
मैंने पहला क्या होता है कि यू यूज अ बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस. When the body consciousness, automatically when you are reason about, so you are in that divine mood always. And then when there is a collective prayer being chanted with or sung by so many people together, automatically that power comes in you. When that what is that Shakti is there, है ना? The Bhakti की शक्ति म्हणतो ना, Shakti, that becomes. It is there. क्या म्हणतो, everything is there. We have to choose what we want. काय वारकरी संप्रदाय, नारदी संप्रदाय, आपलं कुठलं आहे, भागवत संप्रदाय, कुठलंही घ्या, डू एनिथिंग, बट लेट दॅट लव्ह फॉर द लॉर्ड come from within, burst from within, take its birth. वो उतना करा था birth. And then see, merely staying there will not do. मला खूप, माझ्याकडे खूप भक्ती, खूप छान गाणं म्हणतो, हे काय not necessary. Then what is the thing? Then how do you apply that our devotion in our day-to-day life? 24/7 you can't go on singing, can you? No. No. Then singing is a part of our sadhana which you are doing. म्हणून आरती करताना अर्थतेने म्हणायचे. आरतीचा अर्थ काय? अर्थतेने म्हणा. आरती करताना इकडे बघ, तिकडे बघ, तिकडे बघ, काहीतरी म्हण, मध्ये ताल घ्या, जय 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 जय, नो यूज नो. अर्थता असेल तिथे आरती होते ना, म्हणून आरती म्हटले. आणि आरतीला नेहमी वरचा स्वर लावायचा, खालचा स्वर नाही. जय देव जय देव जय मंगलमूर्ती मात्रे, हा स्वर नाही लागत आरतीला. जय देव जय देव जय मंगलमूर्ती, वरचा स्वर असतो ना कधी आरतीला. म्हणून ते अर्थता पाहिजे आरतीत. हे सगळं आपल्या संस्कृतीत येणार, कल्चर, एव्हरीथिंग इज देअर. इट इज इंटरवोवन. पण देन इफ यू अंडरस्टँड, यू अंडरस्टँड. इफ यू डोंट, देन इट गेट्स नेग्लेक्टेड. म्हणून ते म्हणे, दोज पीपल हु प्रे टुगेदर स्टे टुगेदर, इट टुगेदर आर दुसरे. ऍटलीस्ट आर वन प्रे इन आवर हाऊस टू बी गेट टुगेदर एव्हरी डे. आज तुझा विश्वास असू दे नसू दे, काही असू दे, पण मी सांगते ना, किंवा मी सांगतो ना, सगळ्यांनी यायचं नाही, तू भरायचं. सगळ्यांनी एक आरती, 2 आरती म्हणायला किती वेळ लागतो? 5 मिनिटं. ओके नाही? व्हॉट इज दॅट? दॅट्स अ थँक्स गिव्हिंग टू द लॉर्ड दॅट हू इज टेकिंग केअर ऑफ अस. वी आर टेलिंग थँक्स इन सम आवर ओन वे. वी आर कमिंग टुगेदर अँड टेलिंग. इट हॅज सच ए मिरेकलस इफेक्ट. म्हणून आपले भक्ती आहे, डिवोशन आहे, गाणे सगळे, पण ज्या वेळेला अप्लाय करायला पाहिजे ना, त्यावेळेला जर आपलं अप्लाय आपलं जे काही ज्ञान आहे तर मग ते उपयोगीच आहे. अप्लाय कसं करायचं? I have said, we are told, discussed, when you surrender to the Lord, it is He who is taking care of us. We don't have to worry for anything. It is His will, and He will see to it that what is proper for my for this jivatma. He will see that it is better. He will see to it that it goes to that procedure. आपल्याला काय वाटतं आपण म्हणतो हेच खरं आता असं नसतं ना. So many times you have seen your life how it has been regulated. You think you have done anything? No, it has just happened that time. कितीतरी वेळा, right from your job to your marriage to your children to your whatever small things you start seeing his hand in small things also ना. You start seeing. हम देखते नहीं ना, छोटी छोटी बातें में उसके ही विल्स नथिंग विल हैपन बाबा, कुछ नहीं होता है. बारिश भी नहीं गिरा तो कितना प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, वो भी नहीं. अपने वी आर टेकिंग फॉर ग्रांटेड. अभी बारिश से 2 दिन का पानी आता, अभी क्या करूँ, शुरू हो गया. हमने एक बल्लर का और क्या करा, हमको तो गाना आता है ना, क्या करेंगे दूसरा. भगवान की प्रार्थना करो और क्या करो.
आएगा आएगा सर, बारिश आएगा.
आएगा आएगा क्यों, आज आने वाला है ना, किस जाएंगे अभी नेक्स्ट डे.
I was remembering अपना कानो बाचा संगति, वो उस वीडियो में सर that I had sent on group also, एक गौड़न वो वाला था ना, तो हम लोग चिलंग कटी में कैसे वो रुक के वो 2 टाल बजाते, तो बीच में people started singing, तो उसने रुकाया भजन को, उधर रुका के उसको बोला 2 वेळा असं म्हणायचं, और फिर वो जैसे चिलंग कटी हम ऐसे करते ना, वैसे सब करके मतलब ऐसे कानो बाचे संगति मेरे को इतना याद आ रहा था, मेघजानंद जी और वो हमारा बालविहार का ये ना, लिटरली इट वाज सिमिलर. कानो बाचे संगति कितना सिंपल मीनिंग है कि वो यमुना किनारे गए, ये सिमिलर सॉन्ग था, बट द वे दे कैरीड इट ना, सब अपना अपना ड्यूटी छोड़ के आ गए नाचने को, इतना मजा आ रहा था उनके साथ.
वारकरी संप्रदाय ना, इट इज समथिंग आउट ऑफ द ब्ल्यू ना, आउट ऑफ द ब्ल्यू. वारकरी संप्रदाय कसं असतं माहितीये का, की ज्या वेळेला आता वारकरी संप्रदाय गंमत बघा, की जे महाराज आहेत, महात्मा आहेत, ते पण वारकऱ्या नमस्कार करतात, वारकरी पण त्या नमस्कार करतात. मग
सर
जिथे
फुगडी खेळताना पण त्यांनी केली, आफ्टर द फुगडी बोथ ऑफ देम टच्ड ईच अदर्स फीट.
देन म्हणजे माझ्यातलं देव माझ्याकडे पण तुझ्यातल्या देवाला नमस्कार करतो, तुझ्या शरीराला नमस्कार करते. आय एम नॉट प्रोसीडिंग टू युअर फिजिकल बॉडी, आय एम प्रोसीडिंग टू दॅट डिव्हिनिटी विच इज वर्किंग इन थ्रू यू. या देअर इनसाइड यू, दॅट इज देअर. म्हणून वारकरी संप्रदाय मला इतकं आवडतं ना, छान असतं की आपलं नमस्कार केलं, सगळ्यांना नमस्कार, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही, कोणाचं जात पात धर्म काही नसतं, सगळे असतात त्याच्यात. कुठे कशाचं बंधन नाही, काय नाही. आपल्या देवाचं नाव घेतं, दुसरं काय करतात, राजकारण नाही, काय नाही, काय नाही. ईश्वराचं भक्ती किती असते. बरं मागच्या वेळेस सांगितलं असं, दे गो टू पंढरपूर, उनका भगवंत पांडुरंग का दर्शन भी नहीं होता है. ऑल दोज पॉलिटिशियंस में ऑल उनका लाइन पास बीस हो जाते हैं भगवान का दर्शन लेने का. ये तो ऊपर कर्स का दर्शन लेके हमका हमारा हो गया करके चलो बस से आ भी जाते हैं. बट दे नो दैट they have the full faith that when I have come to Pandharpur, I have seen the Lord Panduranga has already seen me. तो वापस जाके उनके सामने जिसको जाने का उनको जाने, हमको कोई जरूरत नाही जाने की. ही आहे ना खरी भक्ती म्हणतात ना. मग देवावर इतकं ऋण करून ठेवायचं, फेट म्हणजे देवावरच ऋण करून ठेवायचं. हे काय म्हणे, आम्ही इतकंच आमचं जप झालं, आम्हाला काय नको, तुला काय पाहिजे का, आम्हाला काय नकोच आहे. यू बिकम सो यू आर ऑब्लाइज्ड ना, यू आर अंडर दॅट डेट. रिमेंबर, a devotee when he puts his entire devotion, the Lord is indebted to him. म्हणून संत महात्माचे देव काय ऐकतो, हे बाबा पाऊस थांब रे, पाऊस पडायला, चल पडायला पाऊस, बरं आता खूप दिवस झाले, खूप अटके केली. तो का पडायला लागतो, की त्याला
Actually, I
स्वतः
had put that link of the song which Vijayshri Akka shared on Chick group. माया बापा विठला तुल और अजय अतुल का आपने सुना, वो उसमें विठल का जो बोलते हैं ना वो कि तू इफ यू आर इन ट्रबल हाउ डू यू थिंक आई विल बी एट वैकुंठात, मी कसं काय शांतीत असणार. वो इतना मतलब इट वाज टचिंग दैट डे, एंड लुकिंग एट द वारकरीज एंड ऑल, नो इट रियली the bhakti में जो मतलब not seeing the Lord, what the pain that devotee feels is shown in that, in the COVID time में when they could not go for the wari. I shared it on the group and then Vijayshri Akka put it on Chick group. I don't know sir if you have heard that song. अजय अतुल का बहुत बढ़िया सॉन्ग है सर. He cries that मुलांनी काय दंड केलं, माझा काय अपराध झाला की मला तू बोलवलं नाही वारीला. फॉर द लास्ट 2 years you have not called us for the वारी. असं काय अपराध झालं म्हणून ना, and he is remembering everything, trying to dance.
संकर्षण कराडे ना, that poem no, संकर्षण कराडे's poem no.
Sankarshan, I don't know the movie sir.
No, that poem or it's a song.
It's a song of Ajay Atul.
You put it on the Narada, this group NBS afterwards.
I'll put, sir, which I had shared it with the, but how God also, he thinks of Lord so much that Lord comes and he says, why do you think it is a संकटाचा काळ आहे, थोडे वेळ तू घरट्यात राहा, मी आहे ना बघायला, मग मी चंद्रभागेच्या काठेवर तुझ्यासाठी वाट पाहीन. It is really beautiful. So what you are saying, na, ki you become indebted. The Lord also gets indebted to you, but
Of
that
course.
much of bhakti, if we can have, how different it is.
दॅट मच डिवोशन शुड हॅव की देवाला देव मग काय आपण हे बघ कधी होतो आपण दुसऱ्याचा गुलाम विचार करावा वेन यू बिकम एंटेड टू समबडी वेन दॅट पर्सन डज सो मच फॉर यू अँड टेक्स नथिंग फ्रॉम यू इन रिटर्न. हा ना, त्यांनी किती केलं मला काय, मला इतकं सगळं माझा संसार जसा केला सगळं केलं, स्वतः स्वतः काही नको म्हणून आई वडील का आपल्याला श्रेष्ठ आहेत. वाय मदर अँड फादर आर केप्ट ऑन द हायेस्ट, मातृदेव भव पितृदेव भव का हायेस्ट आहेत की दे हॅव डन एव्हरीथिंग सेल्फलेसली विदाउट एक्सपेक्टेशन. असं नाही की लहानपणी तुला बोलायला शिकवली की मला मोठं झालं तुझा गाडी झालं आणि लोक झाले का माझी काळजी घेणार, मला घर घेऊन देणार, मला चांगलं करणार म्हणून तुझी काळजी घेतो, असं नसतं. Selflessly when you do something, automatically their position in our world becomes the highest. हो ना, म्हणून ते पुंडलिकाचं काय, पुंडलिक आई वडिलांची सेवा करत होता तर पांडुरंग आला तर म्हणे बाबा मी आता आई वडिलांची सेवा करतो, तू आला तर थांब म्हणे, मग तुला बसायला वेळ घेतो, वीट टाकून दिली, उभा राहा विटेवर, आलो थोड्या वेळ है ना. आणि पांडुरंग उभा राहिला युगान युग, सो मेनी युगज आणि युगाचा पाठ पांडुरंग स्टँडिंग ऑन दॅट पर्टिक्युलर विटका. तर भक्ताचं ऐकायलाच लागतं ना. ज्यावेळेला तू स्वतःसाठी मागतो ना, स्वार्थ असतो ना, त्यावेळेस एखाद्या वेळी काय होणार नाही, पण तू जेव्हा दुसऱ्यासाठी मागतो आणि त्याचा स्वार्थ नसतो त्या ईश्वराला ऐकायलाच लागतं. लक्षात घ्या, परत सांगतो की ज्यावेळेला मी स्वतःसाठी कुठेतरी गोष्ट मागतो त्यावेळेला ती होईल की नाही होईल माहित नाही, होईल पण नाही पण होईल, पण ज्यावेळेला मी दुसऱ्यासाठी प्रेम म्हणजे अर्थतेने मागतो की बाबा याचं कल्याण होते, याचे चांगलं होते, ते देव ऐकतो गोष्ट, जर ते योग्य असेल तर. ब्रॅकेटमध्ये आहेच सगळीकडे. आता कोणतरी एकदम समज समज डेथ बेड आणि हा बारावा आय जस्ट रेड समवेअर वन डे बॅक. हा, की स्वामी Anvanand had gone to some Mahatma, some individual. He was his old friend in Calcutta. He went to visit after 4 years. So when he went to see him, he was in, his wife says in dire states. उसका ऐसा ऐसा मच्छर नहीं लगाया था उनके अंदर वो थे, एंड जस्ट लाइंग देयर. उनका हाथ भी हिलाएंगे ना, हाथ उनका ऊपर लेंगे तो हड्डी टूट जाता है, इतना खराब हो रहा है दिस his position. It's very difficult for him to survive. So Swamiji said, now what to do? He closed his eyes and आम्ही काय करू शकतो. Then he said, Om Trimbakam Yajamaya Sungandi Pushtivardhan Urvarukam Bandhanam Vitramuksham Amritam. And said that prayer for 11 times. I chanted it and he came out. Okay, I'll now pray for that person recovers. And from there he went to Swami Akhandananda Saraswati. Akhandananda Saraswati is a master in all this. And he went in and he said, Swamiji, now I had been to a patient and he was in dire state. And now I have prayed to the Lord that now you have to cure him. Akhandananda ji, Swamiji, blasted his Swamiji and left a night there only. He said, who the hell are you to interfere in the laws of the Lord? Who has given you so much power? Who are you to tell him to cure him? Why? That person, do you know what stage of that Jivatma is there, in which stage? And how is going to go to get liberated? What is going to be his next janma? What is his journey or destination? Do you know that? Why unnecessarily because of your thoughts you are not allowing that Jivatma to release himself? Therefore, the prayer which we say, asking the Lord is also a sort of what not right thing to do. Let him do what he wants. I can pray that let that happen which is best for everybody. बस उतना कर सकते. तुम्हाला कोणतरी ह्याच्यात दिसतंय काय, थोडं दुःख दिसतंय की बाबा आहे ना, बरं कर, चांगलं करायचं, सगळं चांगलं होऊ दे, पॉझिटिव्ह थॉट्स लेट देम कम, बट डोंट इन्सिस्ट. काय शेवटचं काय असेल, जे तुला योग्य वाटेल ते कर. म्हणून गुरुदेव म्हणतात ना, द पर्सन गेट्स नॉट वॉट ही डिझायर्स बट वॉट ही डिझर्व्स, अँड ही नोज बेटर वॉट ही डिझर्व्स. त्यामुळे आपल्याला जे आहे ते आहे, ठीक आहे ना, सगळं एव्हरीथिंग इज राईट, सगळं चांगलं आहे. प्रार्थना करताना पण आपलं कधी कुठली गोष्टीचा आग्रह धरू नये. बस उसकी त्याला वाटलं तो घेऊन जाईल, त्याला वाटलं नाही वाटलं, काय करणार आपण. When you surrender that in that fashion totally at his feet, you will see that, well, see, up till now we are our life is been regulated by our own vasanas, by our relatives, everybody, friends and friends. When he starts regulating your life and he becomes the master of life, see how the your life takes a absolutely a U-turn. एकदा बघा करून, काय फक्त 8 दिवसात फक्त बघा, किंवा मी काय मी कुठली माझी इच्छा करणार नाही, काय नाही, देव कसं करत तसं आहे. ठेविले तैसे ठेविले अनंत तैसेचे राहावे आहे. पण पुढे आहे की चित्ती असं द्यावे समाधान, है ना. एकनाथांचं आम्हाला ठेवलं कसं ठेवत तेव्हा कसं ठेवायचं ठेवा, आम्हाला काय फरक पडतोय. पण आपल्या माझ्यातले समाधान म्हणजे माझ्या हृदयात तुझ्याबद्दल प्रेम आहे, ते निरंतर राहू दे. बस, बाकी कुठलं मागणंच नाहीये ना. किती जन्म घालतो घाल, आम्हाला काय फरक पडतो, किती जन्मोजन्मी घाला, आम्हाला काय फरक पडतात. इसके लिए लिबरेशन चाहिए. म्हणून भक्त हा ज्ञानीपेक्षा श्रेष्ठ का, की ज्ञानी हा स्वतःच्या मुक्तीसाठी प्रयत्न करत असतो, मागत असतो. भक्त काय मागतच नाही. काय करायचं कर, तुला जन्माला द्यायचं जन्म ठेव, काय करायचं कर, काय आय डोंट वॉन्ट टू, काय विचारायचंच नाहीये. वेन रामकृष्ण परमहंस वॉज सफरिंग फॉर कॅन्सर, समोर असं वाटलं, मी रोज काली मातेशी बोलताय, यू आर एव्हरीडे स्पीक विथ काली माते बोलताय रोज. एकदा विचारत आहे की माझं एक इतकं दुखणं तर बरं कर. मी कशाला मागवणे, मला काय गरज नाही ते मागायची. बरं मी हा एकटाच आहे का, असे माझ्यासारखे लाखो लोक भारतात जगात पीडित आहेत. बरं माझ्या त्यांच्यात काय फरक आहे, मला काही नाही. सगळ्यांसाठी मागून नये ना, मग सगळ्यांचंच बरोबर होते, माझ्यासाठी एकट्यासाठी काय मागू मी. And then that the previous story I forgot to tell you the ending. Then Akhandanand told him, when you surrender himself at the Lord, then Lord knows what the Jivatma is true. He says, suppose take a hypothetical condition that your great grandfathers, that great grandfathers are still living, and your house how much, 12 by 12. अब सब कैसे रहेंगे उसमें. Therefore, death is a unavoidable part which is essential for the world to move. म्हणजे जे होतं ना ते योग्यच होतं नेहमी. माणूस आला तर त्याला जायलाच पाहिजे, त्याला काही पर्याय नाहीये. दुःख होईल, ठीक आहे, तर आहे, दुःख होणार नाही होणार, अटॅचमेंट आहे, इतक्या वर्षाचं असोसिएशन आहे, मे बी विल बी, बट ठीक आहे, यू हॅव टू ऍक्सेप्ट इट. When you accept that death is an inevitable part of my life, then you'll never be feeling miserable, because I fear what in life the most, death. ओके नाही, दुसऱ्या कशाची भीती वाटते, जीवाची भीती वाटते, आपल्या जवळच्या माणसांची भीती वाटते, काय मृत्यू आला तर काय होईल. सगळ्यांना जायचंच आहे. ऑल इन द
Sir, when Swikar Dada expired, it was a shock for everybody.
येस.
And Vijay Shri Akka had mentioned that Guruji जेव्हा सांगितलं ना, Guruji म्हणाले, once you cry to your heart's content thinking for him or whatever you would, after that you should not even feel that bad, because what God had decided had happened. You cannot do anything about it. So once एकदा रडायचंय, रडून घे, जे काय कर, after that it was God's will. So you should not be एव्हरी टाइम फिलिंग की का असं केलं देवाने, का असं केलं असं विचार न करता, एकदा तुला हो वाईट घडलं झालं, for that person, for that family, we feel bad. But once you feel for that family, whatever is your feeling, you want to cry, you want to do whatever you do, but after that, don't crib on why God did this to the family or did this to that person. This was the same this thing I remembered when you said this.
Yeah. And even when my mother passed away, I was in the shock for how many days? 10 days. I was on sedatives. I was a terrible shock. And after suppose I don't know how many days, I don't forgot. 4-5 days, 5-6 days. Guruji called her and he says, Tushar, काय झालं म्हणलं, स्वामीजी, I can't tell also because I was cried profusely that day. And he says, what you do one thing. काय त्याने सांगितलं सांगतो, पण आई गेलीस वाईट वाटलं साहजिकच आहे. आई हे सगळ्यात महत्वाचा घटक आहे आयुष्यातला. आई गेली की काही राहत नाही, बरोबर आहे. आणि आईशिवाय दुसरा आधारच नसतो, ते पण बरोबर, सगळं मला मान्य आहे. पण म्हणजे आई गेली त्याच्यातनं आपल्याला काय शिकायचं, की तिने जे चांगलं जाणं केलं त्यातनं प्रेरणा घेते, एक इन्स्पिरेशन फ्रॉम what she has done. And with that inspiration, she will get more power and more energy to serve, enthusiasm to live. By merely crying, what are you going to get? She has already left. By crying, she's not going to come back, isn't it? That one call, ask Chaitanya also. After that call, after that I never cried again. But then these Mahatmas have got so much power also. उनका एक 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 त्यांचं एक म्हणा ना महात्म्यांचं एक वाक्य हे ब्रह्मवाक्यासारखं असतं. इट इज सो पॉवरफुल, सो पॉवरफुल. एक वाक्य करू नको आता राहायची आवश्यकता नाहीये. आईकडनं प्रति हार्डली स्पोक फॉर 2-3 minutes. मी चैतन्य रेकॉर्डिंग केली वाटतं समटाईम मे बी रेकॉर्डिंग करून तिच्या मोबाईलमध्ये वाटतं रेकॉर्डिंग एनिवे. पण देन दॅट इज द थिंग ना. महात्म्याचं जे असतं ते मूव काय, ते माणूस येणार आहे जाणार आहे सगळं सगळं मान्य आहे. When you accept everything and you have to surrender yourself totally to the Lord, you don't have any complaints. Therefore, be at zero complaint level म्हणून सांगितलं. कंप्लेंट काय तक्रारच नाही ना माझी. ज्याची काही तक्रारच नाही, तुम्हाला काय पाहिजे मला काही नको, अहो काहीतरी घ्या म्हणून ते म्हणाल ना. कठोपनिषद नचिकेत आणि यमराज तिथं संवाद आहे, डायलॉग बिटवीन यमराज आणि व्हॉट इज इट नचिकेत. नचिकेत म्हणतो आय डोंट वॉन्ट एनिथिंग फ्रॉम यू, आय जस्ट वॉन्ट टू नो द सिक्रेट ऑफ डेथ. He said, you ask anything but the secret of death. I'm not going to tell you that. You want, I'll make you the king of the entire universe, cosmos. I'll make you give you the Indrapad. I'll give whatever you want. I'll make you Amar, immortal. काय तुला हे करणार नाही. He said, I don't want anything. I want to know this only. हेच पाहिजे मला, मला काय नकोच आहे. मग त्याला अल्टिमेटली therefore if you can read कठोपनिषद is a dialogue between Yamaraj and Nachiket. And what is the secret of that? What is there? Everything is displayed. So, coming to our basic point, that when you start accepting everything and that devotion, how do you know that you are on the right path in devotion? When you have no complaints for the situations arising in your house, in the society, in the community, in the world, then you think that you are on the right path. ज्यावेळेला तुम्ही नकारात्मक हे असं का, असं का नाही, हे असंच आहे असं जेव्हा एक्सेप्ट करतो तेव्हा सगळं सोपं होतं. माझा मुलगा असा का वागतो, माझी मुलगी अशी का वागते, माझा नवरा असा का वागतो, माझी बायको अशी का वागते, त्यांचा स्वभाव ते तसेच वागणार आहेत. मध्ये मध्ये मला डिस्टर्ब का करतात, ते डिस्टर्बच करणार. सी व्हॉट देर इज नो, काय त्याला पर्यायच नाहीये ना. हे होतं तसं. ऍक्सेप्ट केलं पुढे गेले तर काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही. ऍक्सेप्ट नाही केलं ना की मग सुरतं राग द्वेष, मग काय म्हणतात त्याला सिंपती, सहानुभूती जो गोळा काढायची. स्वतःबद्दल तर इतकी सहानुभूती ना, मी तर एकदम एकदम आहे ना ह्याचाच पुतळा आहे, कशाचा, धर्माचा. आणि बाकी सगळे लोक कसे वाईट आहेत. मी सगळं मी नेहमी चांगलं वागतो. गुडी 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 गुडी. मी सकाळी लवकर उठतो, सकाळी सकाळी मेडिटेशन करतो, योगा करतो, मी नॉनव्हेज बिलकुल खात नाही, लोकांच्या बद्दल चांगलं बोलतो सगळ्यांचं. तरी माझं असं का, असं असं जेव्हा होतं ना, वेन दॅट क्वेश्चन कम्स नो, थिंक दॅट यू आर मोर देन 100 miles away from the Lord. Why do good people suffer? Why am I suffering? I am doing everything that, but why am I suffering? हा येतो की नाही. सगळं चांगलं करतो तरी आमच्या आयुष्यात वाईट का होतं. सगळं चांगलं वागलो तरी असं का झालं. नका वागू ना मग. Who told you? No one told you not to be on this thing. But when you are on this path and when these things come up to you, you have then accept it and go forward. ओके नाही. हा आता किती वाजले मला माहित नाही. वाचले का रे, किती वाजले? 6:17. बंद करूया, बरं थांबूया. हे पुढच्या वेळेला मला आठवण करा रवी. नेक्स्ट वीक नो विल स्टार्ट विथ एक मनाचा श्लोक घेऊ, 1 किंवा 2, 205 पहिल्या सुरू व्हायच्या आधी सुरू करायचं. सांगता रे छान आहे. तर फक्त आठवण कर मला. पुस्तक आहे माझ्याकडे, आर्थचं पुस्तक काढायला लागेल, करू पण तेवढं करूया. होल्स द प्लेज.
गुरुपौर्णिमा 11th को है ना सर?
11th को आषाढ़ एकादशी है, 10th को आषाढ़ एकादशी है, भजन है विचार में.
गुरुपूर्णिमा कब है?
एकादशी के बाद 4 दिन के बाद, 4 एकादशी ना 11th डे, और उसके बाद की पूर्णिमा को गुरु पूर्णिमा है.
गुरु पौर्णिमा 13.
आई डोंट नो डेट. गीता नोस, गीता कैलेंडर पुढे
कैलेंडर है 13 दिख रहा है. गुरु पौर्णिमा
13th. ओके ठीक है. अर्चना, इफ इट्स पॉसिबल टू यू फॉर यू टू कम ऑन फॉर ऑन 10th 5 o'clock वी आर फॉर भजन. आषाढ़ एकादशी का. हाँ
I'll try sir.
बाकी कोई है नहीं है इधर के. ये निष्कला तो नहीं सकते, आ नहीं सकते. done devotee service. Who's to the
वहीं
place?
पे है, मन वहीं पे है।
सूक्ष्म रूप से आ जा। हाँ,
ठीक है, ठीक है।
अच्छा आरसा प्लेज बोलो हाँ।
Okay, sir.
ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम
We stand as one family,
and
bound to each
no
other
fish
with
no
love and respect.
respect
We serve as an army,
and
courageous and
grace and
disciplined,
discipline
ever ready to
ever
fight
ready to fight
against
against
all low
all those
tendencies and false
tendencies and false
values
values
within and
within
without
and
us.
without us.
We
We
live
live
honestly the
honestly,
noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than
making
what
more
we
than a
consume
consume
and giving
and
more than
giving
what
more
we
than
take.
what we take. We
We
seek the
seek
Lord,
the Lord's
Lord,
grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom.
wisdom.
May thy grace
May
and
thy grace
blessings
and
flow
blessings flow
through us to the
through us
world
to the
around
world
us.
around us. We
We
believe
believe that the
in
service
the
of our
service of the
country
country,
is the service of the Lord
respect for
of
the Lord of
laws,
laws, and
and
devotion
devotion
to
to the people
the people
is the
is
devotion
the
to the
devotion to
Supreme
the
Self.
Supreme Self.
We know
Lord,
our responsibilities. Give us the
give us
ability
the
and
ability
courage
and
to fulfill them. Om Tat
Om
Sat.
Tat Sat Sat
Hari Om.
Hari Om. See, when I